Alright, so before I actually explain what this is for, first off, this is not a Palladian OTK. You say that, I'm gonna, like, choke someone, because I get really tired of hearing that. I made this clear back when Palladian's even released, and ever since then, everyone said this wouldn't even work when I built this damn thing. With the Jack Knights and the Palladians. People were going, oh no, that can't work. And then when it did, and they saw how powerful it was, then people started asking for it, and then all of a sudden they release in TCG, and now they're all this because they can OTK. No, OTK is not the most consistent way. Shut up with that. It's garbage. Anyway, granted, this may look like that. It's not. I'll explain what my deck kind of does before I go into the deck building, which is what people asked me to do, was go over how to build a deck. Well, first off, what mine really does is it's consistent. It negates. It revives. It never really doesn't have a move, and the reason is because this entire deck is one massive engine. That's pretty much what I build my decks to do. When I first started out building a deck, I prioritized searchers. That would be him. These guys go into him, so he can search. This can search. All these things are searchers, so it increases my consistency no matter what. I have, since all of these can make him, that's already 13 cards here to go in him. Then anything that gets special summoned here searches one of these. These 9 search out any of these guys. This can search that. He can also search that or any of. Actually, no, he can only search World Legacy, isn't it? Yeah. Since he can search these or that. So even my spell cards are searchable. That is searchable through him. The only cards in his entire deck that aren't searchable is this, that, these 6 right here, and these 3 here. So these 9 cards, okay, 11 cards, I keep forgetting these things exist. These 11 are the only things that aren't searchable. To me, that's pretty good odds. I mean, you have a 29 out of 40 chance to not brick. I mean, this could be considered searchable because Needle Fiber can search out Ash. And I know Needle Fiber is not in the TCG. Is it going to come to TCG? I would be surprised if it did, just because the TCG is so fucked up. Because they just sit there and go, okay, link summoning, let's focus on that. Let's not focus on anything else. When Needle Fiber makes not only links work better, but it makes synchros actually summonable. And I used to run synchros in this, but I stopped doing that because it just wasn't as consistent. Needle Fiber was more used as a piece to get him out as a recovery move than anything else. So I just threw in Topologic Bomber Dragon just because it's like, well, he did the same thing as Black Rose Dragon, except instead of me having to synchro summon and completely wipe everything, including itself, this thing hits the field. I just special summon anything I want to it, and then goodbye everything else. And anything else that's in my way, he can kill. I mean, 3,000 attack isn't that bad. It's not fantastic, but it's not weak. And the fact that he will burn you for the damage when he attacks already means that I'm going to hit you. Even if your monster is like 4,200, I'll just burn your ass. I don't care. As long as my life points don't hit 0 first, I win. That's why I play Psychic. Psychics focus on the fact that, okay, yeah, they're risky, but as long as I kill you first, it doesn't matter. I won't go over side deck, since I'm still working on these 2 in particular. That's just a little bit of hints that I would say doing is 3 steps first. Pick focus of your deck. Location, targeting, destruction, whatever, attack, special summoning, consistency, luck. Whichever one you want. I find an extra deck focus, what you would consider to be your last resort for me Borreload is my last resort. I will not summon him unless it's like, okay, I'm doing it just for the pure shits and giggles of it, or I'm doing it because there's something in my way and he's the only guy who can get it out of my way, or lastly, like, I'm completely fucked unless I just beat the shit out of you with someone big, and he's typically my biggest dude outside of him. I mean, I'll go briefly over what my side deck is mainly used for and why these two are up for debate, which would seem crazy to most players. The reason being is my side deck is mainly used to be optimized for the matchup, not really the turn. The only card that gets thrown in depending on what turn I'm going is that. Evenly matched going first is a hell no. I don't want it, because it's not going to do anything. So every time I'm picking, if I lose round 2, and it's normally round 1 I win unless I'm going against Altergeist, which in that case, I don't really need to care because I'll likely win round 2 and 3 because they're going to always pick to go first. So this is coming into the game, and I'm going to board wipe you every time with it. Because I'll draw this, one of these. Something on my back is coming up, meaning you're going to get screwed over one way or another. It's just a fact of when. Would this work in a YCS? When it comes to building in a YCS, I'd say don't do this. Because of that dumbass 40-minute timer rule, you can never focus on things I do. Things I do, if I wanted to play this in a YCS, even though I want to play it like I would normally, which is something I'm going to experiment with for fun, when I can actually afford to buy every single card in this deck, I'm going to experiment with it for the fun of it. See if it actually can work, and if it does, great. If not, it doesn't. I'm sure the OTK variant would work great, because it's just built to go one turn and win, or lose if it doesn't. This one's not built to do that. This one's built to, it can OTK if it needs to, but if it fails to, or it just doesn't want to, or I don't want to, then I just build my normal board. So, because of YCS, as long as that 40-minute timer is here, I'd say no. Even if they came back with the old rules of there being 5 turns, this thing would be great. I feel like even if you went first or second. I think that pretty much wraps it up between my deck versus how I'd build your decks. I mean, I know I explained more of mine than building, but I feel like with how versatile this thing is, it kind of explains how I would build a deck in the first place anyway, just by explaining how it works. So I think I'll pretty much leave it at that. And if you have any questions, well, you guys know me anyway, so you guys can just message me about it.